So our next sample demonstrates what we can do about this current possibility of all sorts of issues related to reading information from a file, ranging from file not found to value errors. So the sample here is video 11.4. Right. So what happens here is that we again wrap the with open block of code, the statement where we loading this information. We just wrap it with try and catch. And this time we're anticipating these two errors or exceptions, file not found and value error. Okay, so and again, I'm just using the same technique. I'm just showing the type of exception. So this is an exception object, okay? And this exception object can be examined by us. And we say that the type of exception is this. We're going to print it. We're trying to display what arguments were used when the exception was created. And again, I print the trace back, which is the standard practice when you try to log the information about the exception. Okay, so this is example 11.4. I'm just simply going to run this program, and this is the sample reading from a file when we got this incorrect integer format. So this time I'm going to do this again, just copy and paste, and here, so this time it's us. We're handling this information ourselves, right? And what we're doing here, we're currently printing. So this is sample. This is sample 11.4, right? So this is where we start reporting, and we're displaying that this is the value error, and this is again the arguments that were used when the exception was created, and this is our traceback, and this is our traceback. And what fails in here is that we're right here, we're not doing anything to exit from this program. So we're actually failing on this assert. And this assert is simply because our context copy was not loaded properly. You can see here that only the first item was loaded properly from this file. Right, so until actually I can just drag and drop it in my Visual Studio here, right? So until here, everything was okay. So contact Betty with the telephone number was loaded, but the rest of the information was interrupted, and then this last assert has failed. It just basically said, no, it did not work that well. So this is the assertion error, which is generated by the assert statement. Okay, so yeah, this is quite a lot of different information that's coming out of our code, and everything can be analyzed, and we can see which lines of code exactly where the things are happening. For instance, this integer line strip conversion, which failed, referring to video 11.4 line 72. So here in our source editor, I can press Control-G, go to line 72, right? Go to line 72, and you can see that's exactly the problem, converting this input from a file into integer that has failed. Okay, so so this is what we do basically with exceptions. We anticipate them. We should know which exceptions we would like to catch. You can see that because my output, my reaction, my handling of these exceptions is exactly the same for both types of errors when the file wasn't found and the value error. So I'm actually able to list multiple exceptions as my handler here. And just print the same information. So here the assert fails, and we get this last output. So all this section of the output after this separator line is generated by the assert, and it enforces that our program fails. Okay, so we never print everything looks good. We don't want that to print. We want to basically do something before we can prove that the original context is the same as the context loaded from a file. Okay, so let's see what else we can demonstrate in our videos related to file errors.